Joining us now with more is Florida Congressman Gaetz, former Obama economic advisor Austin Goolsbee, and former acting ICE director and Fox News contributor Tom Homan. Tom, I'll go to you first. At our southern border, I've heard your commentary often. We're obviously in the midst of an unprecedented crisis down at the southern border. Do you see, with this Ninth Circuit opinion that broke tonight, in other words, keeping people in Mexico while their asylum claims are being remedied, is that going to help the situation?
No, it's going to make the situation worse. Look at the Ninth Circuit ruling after ruling. The Florida settlement agreement that you spoke of earlier, that was the worst decision ever seen given by a federal court. That has affected this country in a bad way more than any of the decisions I see in the Ninth Circuit. Again, it's the court. You know, President Trump took on Chief Justice Roberts, said Ninth Circuit's politicized. Chief Justice Roberts said, no, it isn't. If this isn't evidence, it's no wonder why the ACLU goes to the Ninth Circuit every time they want to sue this administration. It's a terrible ruling. It's going to cause more people to come to this country illegally. More people are going to die getting to this country illegally, and more cities are going to be unsafe because of this ruling. This is a terrible ruling. Terrible.
Austin, just from the Democrat perspective here, I have to tell you, I enjoy your commentary, even though we have political disagreements, but I'm confused. President Trump has suggested moving some illegal immigrants who are in the country with families who they cannot detain because of this Flores decree to sanctuary cities where liberal mayors and governors have told us that it adds to the economic wealth and the diversity of the city, and illegal immigrants are a net positive. So what's the problem? Why are Democrats objecting to this policy? Why is it cruel, to quote Julian Castro?
Well, I thought, in general, I don't think that would be cruel. And if it were posed by President Trump, as the spokesperson from the White House said, that it was a concession, I think they could reach some agreement. What I saw, the report, was that Donald Trump was wanting to take the most violent or those who were in detention and try to release those in Nancy Pelosi's district, which would be both illegal and highly questionable.
Hold on, Austin. I didn't see that report, but just if you allow me for a second, we were told that people crossing the border is not a safety issue. So we shouldn't have to worry about that. Yes. Is that correct?
And overwhelmingly it isn't. If you purposefully try to find one person that committed some criminal act and release them into the driveway of your political opponent, to me, that feels a little different.
I'm not sure he was suggesting
setting up a policy on immigration.
But we were told that it's not a safety issue. Congressman Gaetz, that's what we were told, right? That don't worry, that open borders is not a safety problem. Matter of fact, Congressman, you've heard it multiple times. It's not only not a safety issue, it's not even a crisis. No worries, nothing to see here. Everybody move along. Your take on this?
Well, I don't think we'll be able to release anyone onto Nancy Pelosi's driveway because Nancy Pelosi actually lives behind a wall, a privilege we'd like to extend to the rest of the American people. So I think it's a bit out of place. But look, it is outrageous. I represent the district that has the highest concentration of active duty military in the country. I represent these Gold Star families. And one of the things that service members worry about is what would happen to their children if they have to give their life on the battlefield. And so, my grandfather used to say, don't tell me what your priorities are. Show me your checkbook, and I can tell you what your priorities are. Here, New York State's priorities are all messed up. The fact that they have to keep pouring money into more entitlements for illegal aliens, what that does, Dan, it builds a magnet that draws people across our borders illegally, and it's an example of bad governance.
Yeah, Tom, in your experience at the border, which is vast, I mean, we can't deny here that incentives create an incentive for people to come to this country. Do you think policies like this, providing tuition benefits to illegal immigrants while denying them to Gold Star families, I mean, it's almost I'm almost answering the question for you. How bad is this?
Look, New York wants to know why they have, almost 1 million illegal aliens and why they have an MS-13 problem. Could they entice them to come with free tuition, free health care? Look, I grew up in a small town, Carthage, New York, about 4 miles outside of Fort Drum, New York, in upstate New York, home of the 10th Mountain Division, the most decorated, the most deployed unit in the Army. And I've been surrounded by those families my whole life. What the New York Democrat legislator did today was spit on these people, the finest 1/2% who wear that uniform and enter combat. There's over 300 Gold Star families in Fort Drum, New York. That's my home. I take offense that they're attacking the military anyway, especially Gold Star families. but the Gold Star family is my home. The people that live in New York, their children go to school in New York, their spouses work in New York, and they go overseas and they pay the ultimate sacrifice and die for this country. And New York State's not willing to take care of them like they're going to take care of the illegal aliens. Illegal aliens got 10 times more tuition assistance than Gold Star's families. If every viewer of this show tonight isn't as angry as I am, then there's something wrong. There's something terribly wrong what's going on.
Austin, surely you don't support this. This is, I mean, this in your triage of needs.
Look, I don't support that, but you misrepresented what happened here.
Explain.
Just last week, the Democrats passed a bill giving $25,000 a year tuition subsidies for the kids of Gold Star families. Now, I think they should extend this. And the Democratic governor and multiple Democratic state legislatures also support it. They got into some goofy procedural thing that they already passed the budget, but this would cost additional money, and that's why they wanted to hold it up. I think they should change that, but they are not giving 10 times more per family to the people
Austin,
here illegally.
I don't think it's representing it, though, to ask the question, forget if it's 10 times or not, why are they giving any? Why are we giving any money at all? You're an economist. Certainly you understand incentives.
Look, where I come from,
100%
$27 million is 10 times more than $2.7 million. And when you reward illegal behavior, these people have disrespect for this country. They enter the country illegally. They have no respect for this country, and we're going to reward illegal behavior. And we want to know why the border's out of control. Because a democratic decision like this is why these people come.
These are people that were brought here as children. They have
just like
been
the 200,000
They
families
believe
that
in the
enter now.
American way.
The family units coming across the border right now is your next DACA in 10 years. They're your next DACA population in 10 years because they keep coming.
If you come over the border right now,
Democratic leadership hasn't offered up one fix for this. Not one fix has Democratic leadership offered to slow this tide down.
Yeah, Matt, Congressman Gaetz, this, I mean,
I've enjoyed listening, Dan. I think Tom's doing great.
Well, you know, this is just so hard to believe. When I originally saw the headline, I thought, surely this is a farce. There is no way lawmakers would go on the record and dare. You were in the state legislature. Now you're a United States congressman. You would never sign their names to any piece of legislation or not sign their names to a piece to help Gold Star families while simultaneously supporting illegals. This is outrageous. This is horrible.
Well, I voted against giving in-state tuition to illegal aliens in the state of Florida because I didn't think we wanted to create more enticements. And what Tom and most lawmen on the border will tell you is that when we start talking about all of the new things that we're going to give children of illegal aliens, we end up getting more children of illegal aliens who are themselves illegal coming across the border. It's one of the reasons why now 75% of the people presenting are family units. That's way up from what we've seen previously. And so it's when we look at the crisis on the border, 3,000 people apprehended a day. That's just the ones we're catching, far more that we don't catch. It's a consequence of our policies that create these enticements. What we really need to do is crack down on sanctuary cities, institute an e-verify system, and build the wall. I think under this president, we have a historic opportunity to finally secure the border, but it sure would be nice if Democrats today believed the very same things that they believed in the 90s, that illegal immigration was a security threat to our country and that we had to have borders to be a country. Let's go back to that sense. We can argue then about what to do with the people who are here illegally, but we can't even get their agreement, Dan, to secure the border now. And Tom's right. That creates even more problems for tomorrow.
Tom, one last word. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, given your expertise. Is there any chance, like in 15 seconds, that President Trump's policy of putting illegal immigrants who are out on Flores into sanctuary cities, is that going to happen?
Why wouldn't it? I mean, their policies are creating this surge at the border. Why shouldn't they get the results of their failures? I mean, this president's done everything he can to try to secure this border. He's keeping his promise to the American people. I've worked for 6 presidents, and no president has done more to secure this border than President Trump. He's talked the talk, he walks the walk. So if Democrats don't want to help him, they should see the results of their failures.
Thanks, guys. Tom, Austin, Congressman, really appreciate it.